All right, next video. Have you ever wondered why the news is so negative? Have you ever just wondered that question? All over the world. Right now I'm in Paris, and I was in London for like 3 weeks. I've been traveling, and you know, all over the world they put these negative things all over the news, right? So people have a perception on what the US, people in the US are like, or what people in London are going through, or Paris, right? It's terror. And I went to London and I fell in love with it there. I'm like, it is beautiful here. I love the multicultural people everywhere. I loved it. Now, like any city, town, there are areas in London that you can tell they've invested a lot of money in. And then there's areas that, they don't really care. However, we need to care about not just every city or state or country, every part of Mother Earth, all right? When we're in our own bodies, do you say, I love my pinky and fuck the rest of my hand? No, you don't say that. You want to say, I love all parts of my body. Now, a lot of us will probably look in the mirror and pick ourselves apart, right? Oh, I like this, I don't like that. However, this is about self-empowerment. And this is about embracing and loving you exactly the way you are, for who you are, and flaws and all, right? And know that you can be healthier, do better, heal from the inside out. Well, why aren't we treating Mother Earth the same way as we would want to treat our bodies? We're on her body. She's a body in space just like we are, right? And we are meant to love her and nurture her in all areas. So when you think about, you know, the news and the pollutants and some HAARP, you know, it's a weather program, when you start looking into all this stuff and you realize how much we are affecting her, Mother Earth. Our own negativity, our own projections, our own state of being, when it's lower, we are a virus on her body. But somebody designed it that way, intentionally. Some way, somehow, that's how all of this got started. And it kept growing and growing and growing. And that's okay, because we can undo it, right? We can be stronger than the power control. We can be smarter by starting to learn what we, forgot, how to love ourselves. Ultimately, how to come into our power, how to be fearless, right? And that's where I am now. I don't have fear inside me. So when you think about the news and you start really asking yourself, why is there like maybe 3 to 5 minutes of a good clip through like a 30-minute video and 25 minutes of negative or programming through marketing ads that are coming through? Okay, so we talked about looking outside yourself to fulfill an inside void. So marketing is trying to get you to buy something, right? The news is negative and it brings up fearful situations, right? Complete opposite, right? Somebody did something wrong, we're gonna put their picture here and we're gonna shame them. Shame, 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 shame. We don't even have all the facts, but we're just gonna tell you this person is just a bad person and you should be scared, right? This is like terrible. So really start asking yourself the questions. Why is it like that? How is this benefiting me? How is this lifting me up? You're gonna find out it's not. Walk away from the news and TV and shopping, things that you felt externally brought you pleasure or somehow you needed to know. And I'm not saying be totally in denial about what's going on in the world, but what I am saying is until you can control your own emotional state of being and it does not affect you the way you might think, oh, it totally doesn't affect me, but suddenly if you're being swayed one way or another, it's affecting you. If you are being an observer, it's not affecting you. Now, to go one more thing with the news, I just want to put it out there because I really have had this going through me. Why do they display Jesus' death on a cross everywhere? Have you ever wondered that? Isn't that just like the news? Sacrifice yourself for your country, sacrifice yourself for your religion, sacrifice yourself. Wait a minute. If this is about loving myself so much, why would they do that? That is not God. God is love, appreciation, joy. I believe in all my heart that that's who God is, right? He's high vibrating. He loves us. He wants us to ascend. He's been pulling us the whole time, but we're here in free will where he can't just come in and do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. So we have teachers that are trying to teach us. We have guides and spirit guides that are trying to help us, but they can't just give us the answers because we have to learn our own lessons to navigate our way out. We have to discern what's right, what's not right. And that's understanding about some of the traps that are in here. How is this person here to benefit me? Like, yeah, this totally came up in a reading or my Akashic record reading, but I don't necessarily see anything, something doesn't feel right with me. It was there, but it doesn't feel right. So asking, these questions and being honest with yourself, like, have you really just started tearing away the veils? Like, where do these beliefs come from? Like, who told me to believe this? Was it my parents? Was it the religion? Was it the TV? Like, do I really think that about this race? Where did that start? Like, was there a trigger? Did one person do something and I took out a whole race because of that? I got on the plane to come from London to Paris, and this guy, he was from South Africa, sat next to me, and he said, oh, where are you from? And I said, I'm from the U.S. He goes, oh my God, really? He got so excited. He's like, we talk about you all the time. And I was like, what? And he goes, oh yeah, we talk about you like all the time. And I was like, you talk about me all the time? And he was like, well, your president. We talk about your president all the time. Like, okay, so you just allowed one person to be like the entire United States, right? And I was like, oh, this is great. Tell me more, And I'm like, it's a perfect example. I mean, you really start getting into like the stereotypes, right? All Asian drivers suck. Like, when you have one experience with an Asian driver and suddenly it becomes like, no, none of them know how to drive. It's like terrible. It's the worst. Well, you just made that your own reality, first of all. So start kind of pulling away the layers and start thinking, okay, did I create this? Did someone else create this? And it doesn't have to be this serious thing. You can totally laugh at yourself. In fact, the more you laugh at yourself, the more fun this becomes. So, okay, so anyways, I don't even know how I started on this one. Sorry, I got off topic. I think it was on the negative in the news and religion, and starting to ask yourself like some serious questions. If the one fundamental thing that most religions have in common is love and truth and appreciation and joy and bliss, where did all this lower vibrating shit come from? I just have this hard time believing that God wanted us to suffer and he wanted us to duke it out and fight. Like, no, anything that's creating division is the complete opposite. And this is about unity and coming together. This is about bringing everything from like a whole spectrum into one sphere inside you, and continuous expansion and growth. And it can be fun. It doesn't have to be boring and hard and told what to do. And again, the school system. We get these kids, I was one of those kids, and it was like, oh, you're not smart, you're dyslexic, we're gonna put you on this outside here. You don't belong in with these ones, you're not smart enough. You're a good kid, you're just not smart enough, so you gotta, learn. But I learned differently. It wasn't that I was not smart enough, it was just I learned differently, and thankfully I did learn differently, because what I learned was, what you're teaching me is not what I was supposed to learn. I was never supposed to get put into a box and come out the other end and be on some slavery system. This is now work yourself to death for 40 to 60 hours a week and be completely exhausted by the time you get home. You have no time to look inside and fulfill your divine purpose and soul's mission and, you know, what you came in here to grow. Stay complacent and stuck. Well, I don't want to stay complacent and stuck. I want to be free and I want to live. And I want to live with bliss in my heart and surrounded by people that I love dearly. Like that is living to me, right? It's how much do you love? Okay, apparently they're doing some drilling next door. So I'm going to end this video now. Thanks.